La Resortera.
All right, here we are for another week at Pura Vida Perspectives podcast. How you doing, Jairo?
I'm doing great. How are you, Sara?
So good. I'm excited because today we're going to talk about a topic that's definitely very near and dear to me.
Yep.
And if anyone's been following me at all, watched videos of mine, I bring up this topic a lot. It's about friends, community, and I can say that's what was kind of a make or break it for me in my staying in this country and my success here. So I think it's such an important topic to talk about. So we're going to talk about it and then give you guys some tips and talk about the importance of it. I mean, unless you're a hermit living under a rock and you really don't care to associate with anyone, I mean, us as humans, we need that sense of belonging and community. And remember a few episodes back when we talked about why are people moving and we started reading out a lot of those posts? Multiple times, community was mentioned there. People are looking for a community. So I want to throw something at you. I told you before we started, I'm just going to throw something at you and just go with it. Okay, let's pretend you are not from Costa Rica. You're from somewhere. Okay, I don't know. You're from wherever. And I just plopped you in the Central Valley. You don't know anyone. How are you going to make friends in the Central Valley? For anyone who doesn't know, I refer to the Central Valley as the area surrounding San Jose. Could be San Jose too.
Alajuela, Heredia, San Jose.
So you're Atenas, you're Grecia, out to San Ramon, you're Ciudad Colón, you're Santa Ana, Escazú. Just for some references. So what would you do if we just plopped you there? You don't have any friends or family here in the country. You're totally new to Costa Rica. How are you going to go make friends and community?
Okay, for me, it's real simple because of my attitude. I'm a person that I speak to an ant if she's right next to me.
True. Yeah.
So for me personally, it wouldn't be that difficult. I can either walk into a bar and have a beer. I can walk into a restaurant and sit with the person that is alone in a table, ask them if I can join them. I can walk in the park and ask for a direction. I mean, for me, I don't think it will be very complicated. The thing about what you just say is not only putting you out there, giving you tools. I mean, do you have a car? Are you going to ride the bus? Are you already living at a place? Do you have neighbors? So, again, for me personally, it wouldn't be that difficult because I make friends real fast because I talk a lot. So when
Yeah. Really? I never noticed.
You didn't notice that before?
No, I never noticed.
So when I go to these conventions and you have to network, it's actually real simple for me.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you're not the best person to ask this. Okay. Okay, so you mentioned going into a bar, going into a restaurant, walking through a park, asking someone for directions, just striking up conversations.
Exactly.
Supposedly. Not everyone is outgoing as you. So.
Well, I'll tell you actually a true story.
Okay.
A few months ago, Copa America went up in the United States. I flew to watch Costa Rica play in Los Angeles. I had a friend of mine in Miami call me up and said, Jairo, I have a good friend. He's a kid. He's 19, 20, something like that. He's in LA. He doesn't know anybody. He's all by himself there. It has been 6 months. He's almost at a point where he wants to go back to Costa Rica because he just works and go to sleep. Works and go to sleep. And I said, all right, send him over, the day of the game. We'll have some beers before the game. And the kid came in, introduced himself. And I was like, hey, man, what's up? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. The people I went with, they have family and friends over there. So the night before the game, I met them. Wonderful people that lives in LA, and they're super nice. So what I did is, all right, the kid that they introduced to me, I introduced them to this family, and he just engaged a conversation with them. He ended up getting a job from one of them. Started playing soccer. And every Sunday, he goes to their house for breakfast. And now, as he met this family, he's meeting more people from Costa Rica, and he started making more friends. And that happened like 2 months ago. And last 2 weeks ago, I asked, how was he? And they're telling me like he's fantastic, learning the new work, the new job. So at the end of the day, sometimes depends on the attitude of the person.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you can move somewhere. Okay, I always tell people Costa Rica, it's very easy to make friends, and people
Yes.
are very kind and friendly. But if you're not putting yourself out there,
Yes.
like it sounds like in that example, he wasn't putting himself out there.
Exactly.
He's obviously capable of making friends. People obviously enjoy spending time with him, and want to see him regularly.
He
but
was just not exposed or not going out there.
yeah, so it can be hard. And I think some people will face loneliness in moving here if they aren't willing to put themselves out there. And I wanted to specifically to talk about maybe some of the differences between the Central Valley and the coast and some of the more rural areas. Because I feel like some people can get not lost in the Central Valley, but there's more of a population. There's just a lot going on. I mean, there's just more of people.
Yeah. But here in the Central Valley, here's the thing. For example, where I live, there's literally a group chat for everything. For soccer, for basketball, for tennis, for cycling, for running, for coffee, for going out, so many stuff. So all you gotta do is meet someone that will put you in these groups, and then you can be in the group chat that you think you like. Like, if I don't like basketball, why am I gonna be in a basketball group? But if I like soccer, I definitely want to be in that group. And that's how people make community here in Central Valley. Excuse me, in the Central Valley, through WhatsApp. And I understand, I want to take a few minutes. I know a lot of people that is watching us right now don't even know what WhatsApp is. It's this great app for chatting and calling that in Costa Rica is more common, because I understand in the States and Canada, regular text is the way they communicate.
Yeah. So WhatsApp here, I always say the kind of the world revolves around WhatsApp here in Costa Rica and a lot of countries that are international, because if you have it and I have it, which we do, we text back and forth. We can send as many voice messages as we want, pictures, videos, files. Like, we have groups for our clients for different areas. We have a really good Central Valley one too, because that's where I see people not getting lost, but I feel like, well, at least our clients that move to the Central Valley, we try to drop them into the community of clients that we already have there, because they're harder to find.
So what I'm just saying, Central Valley group chat.
It is, yeah. And oh man, sometimes I lose my train of thought. Group chat.
You were going to mention how you make friends outside the Central Valley.
Yes. So, sorry. I also wanted to mention in Central Valley, a lot of times I'll encourage people to go volunteer.
Okay.
I'll ask people about their hobbies, and just reminding people that you need to get out and actually talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, people in Costa Rica are really friendly, but you can come here and be lonely if you don't put yourself out there. Oh, here's what I wanted to mention. There's a group that gets together in Grecia, for example, that gets together every Wednesday for lunch.
There you go.
There are lots of groups and people that organize. And
You just got to meet that one person.
Yeah.
That'll bring you into the groups. Yeah. Or that one person that you mention, what do you like? So you can get in it. Again, at the end of the day, it's all about you exposing yourself or saying, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to make friends. Now, how do you make friends outside the Central Valley?
Okay, so I feel like it's a little bit different. So I've spent most of my time in Costa Rica living on the coast. I've lived up in the mountains before. I lived in Heredia before I gave birth. But it was for 2 months. I never made any friends.
Okay.
Actually, I was kind of pregnant.
Yeah, you were pregnant. You didn't want to be out there.
Yeah, I didn't want to meet anybody. So I would say whenever you get out of this area, there are some other larger Costa Rican towns like Pérez de León, Cartago. For the most part, though, the towns are pretty small and rural compared to probably what the person, whoever is watching this, where you're coming from. Even our larger beach town of Jaco, that we had a whole episode on, is pretty rural for most people. Most people are still going to go there and consider that a very rural area due to what we do or don't have access to. So that means you're going to start seeing a lot of the same faces.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the same faces. The community's very small, which I like because I think there's a lot of accountability. If someone ain't acting right, everyone's going to know.
Yep.
And they're going to,
kick him out.
You'll get flushed out of that community real quick. And I've seen it happen. So that can be a good thing and a bad thing. There is the, saying in Spanish, kind of that small neighborhood, big fire. So, just don't get into people's business. But it can be a good thing because it makes it almost impossible not to make friends. If you are out and existing, at some point, someone's going to talk to you.
If you like to walk during sunset time and you see all these surfers, same day, every day at the same time, they're going to wave at you. And at some point, you're going to start engaging a conversation and you're going to get to know them. So then you're going to say, oh, I'm going to go see my friend Carlos surf, because you're in a rural area. Same like Nosara. That is a really small town.
Exactly. Samara, Dominical is the same. Uvita. I mean, you just start to see all the faces around. Yeah, if you go to one spot, we like sunset there on the coast. Kind of. I was talking to Pablo one day. He's like, it's like a religion. It's is that time? Oh,
I'm the same.
It's time to go to that direction. Yep. Time for sunset.
It's me every time I'm on the coast.
Yep. If you go to the same spot all the time, you're going to start seeing people. If you frequent a particular coffee shop a lot, you're going to start again seeing the same faces. People are going to strike up conversations. So for that, actually, I wrote down sunset. Some people do like to go to churches.
Okay.
There are some. Let's say if you're coming and you don't speak Spanish, there are English-speaking churches too. Mm-hmm. And there's also Costa Ricans that go to those, or it can be both dual language. So you can still get mixed in with the Costa Rican community too. Again, I have, volunteering cafes, hangout spots. Also Facebook. I
was going to say that.
I've seen people on there, hey, I just moved to this area. Like, I don't really know anyone. Would anyone be willing to meet up with a coffee?
I seen posts like, all right, there's football on Sunday. And the Steelers are playing. I ain't mentioning any other team because I'm a Steelers fan. Go Steelers. So Steelers are playing, and I seen on Facebook, hey, I'm a Steelers fan. Where can I watch the game on Sunday? And somebody will say, oh, this bar, or we can meet up someplace, and maybe my house. I mean, you got to be careful. Obviously, if someone invited you to their house, might be fake. So always have this bad mentality about, is this for real? Is this not for real? Try to engage with a conversation or meet the people outside before you go into houses like that. But yeah, there's a lot of places, football, concerts, lots of activities that people might ask on Facebook, where can I go?
Yeah, or just your own hobbies, your own extracurriculars. Like we work a lot with families. So like we talk about you'll meet other parents or things, your kids' activities, or if they're in school or just their own extracurriculars, but also adults. I've worked with a lot of adults that are kind of like, I don't know. What do I like to do? I don't remember. Okay, well, what new activities do you want to try? I know pickleball is a hot thing now. You can find a lot of pickleball courts around Costa Rica, or some people like, I don't know, tennis or martial arts or boxing. I mean, there's so much stuff for adults in Costa Rica, too, that you can go and then meet people who have the exact same interests.
I actually wrote a couple things. Well, first of all, I mentioned WhatsApp groups where you can engage with people. Drinks and barbecues. There's a lot of people that, wants to gather Saturday nights, have drinks, have barbecues. I have seen other people in Facebook ask around, where can I do karaoke?
Oh, karaoke's good. Yeah, karaoke's a good
one. That's out there for people that is watching. That's an amazing way to make friends, and a fun one too. True.
Yep, karaoke. That's a good one. Costa Ricans seem to love karaoke.
Oh yeah.
Barbecues. We have barbecues at our house pretty often. Daytime ones. We're early night people.
Yeah, Saturday afternoons. Sunday afternoons. They're good, and again, that's a good way to make friends too. But I believe being out there is the best way. I mean, just walking around or exposing yourself.
Totally. And I moved around a lot. So if anyone doesn't know, I have a video out on my channel about all the 20 homes that I've lived in. So when we talk about making new friends and integrating into communities, I've had to do that so many times.
Let me ask you this. Which has been the easiest to make friends, and which one has been the tough ones to make friends? Not counting when you were pregnant.
I mean, I can only think of it. I never had a problem making friends anywhere I moved. I mean, from when I was living in Manuel Antonio down to Dominical, Levita, to Jaco, Hermosa, where I am now. Just at Heredia, that was the only. Even when I lived up in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, I went and met the neighbors and would go and spend time at their house, and we'd have some bread and cheese.
So you never had problems meeting up people.
No, even I found this other, gringa lady up there too. I couldn't believe it. She was like, that's another gringa. We were like, oh my God, an English speaker. Like, we were so in the middle of nowhere. I was like, oh my God. We were both like, you speak English. This is great. So.
Also, I wanted to connect this episode that we're doing with the other one we have a couple weeks ago about the emergencies.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yes, I want to connect them in an aspect that, it's important for you to have friends here in Costa Rica in case of an emergency. Have a backup plan, right?
Exactly. You need people that you can rely on, as we learned to that episode.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, one thing I just see people are nervous. They're like, oh, am I going to be able to make friends? I would say yes. Like, you're going to be able to make friends here in Costa Rica.
And people that speak English.
Absolutely. So you're going to,
Both.
you will, if you put yourself out there, you will make friends. It'll probably be way easier than where you're coming from, perhaps. I mean, because people are way more open and just in general friendly and willing to have a conversation with you.
I love that word that you just said. You just got to be open to it.
Yeah. And I would say people in general here are open. So that's nice. So everyone's open to meeting each other, which is good. And also I feel that people here actually have time to do things and hang out. Like my friends that I have, we have time to hang out and do things. Like I said, we do barbecues really often, or we always have plans every Friday with this one other couple. Like we always hang out with them every Friday. We just always have plans together.
I just went go-karting with my friends, with my neighbors on Thursday. It was 9 of us, 9 neighbors.
Oh,
we
so
went
cool.
go-karting.
That's so cool.
It was fun.
Yeah, like you guys, that's what I say. Like we talked about this in a past episode too, I feel like. But I feel like here, people do prioritize time with family, time with friends, like personal time. And so even the people that you meet probably have a lot of the same mindset. And gosh, like I said, I mean, every Wednesday I watch 90 Day Fiancé with one of my best friends too. That's what we do every Wednesday.
There you go.
We do make time for friends here and family relationships, things that are important. Especially if you're moving, your friends might become like family to you. That's happened to me.
It does happen. And again, it's important that you have friends that you can hang out with so you don't go crazy by yourself at home all day long. But it's important that you make friends. So in case you need something, from sugar to someone to take you to the hospital, you know who you can rely on.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to mention?
No, I think it was good. I mean, like I said, this is a make or break it for me. I would have left Costa Rica after I first moved, not long after I first moved, if it wasn't for the friends that I made, to be honest, and just the sense of community that I felt. And that, I mean, even having my daughter by myself, and I was living in Dominical, all the little houses around me, I had all these different friends that were females who lived in them. Like, it would be like walking out my door and into another. It's like a little compound that just had these little houses, these little cabinas. And that was amazing, just having that sense of community. I feel a lot of people move here for that. But again, you have to put yourself out there. It's not just going to come straight to your door. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But it might.
Yeah, but most of the time it's out there.
You put yourself out there, you'll find it. I never had an issue making friends.
Yeah, be open-minded. Don't be shy. Don't be scared to talk to other people. And you know what? One of the funniest thing that you will run into here, if you speak English and you run into a person that doesn't speak Spanish, they're going to try to communicate with you somehow. And you're going to try to communicate with them somehow. I even seen people making a relationship, a loving relationship with someone that don't even speak each other's language. But they just engage in a matter where they try to communicate without even speaking one language to the other. And it has worked out. So it's a matter of giving a shot, giving a try.
Totally. For example, my partner doesn't really speak English.
There you go.
We have one of our really good friends. Him and his wife are really good friends with them.
Story time.
Yeah. They're learning Spanish. They're still learning. Those two men are best friends. Like, they are besties. Like, you send them off. I don't know what they talk about. Neither of them understand each other half the time. I don't really know how they communicate.
And
but
they're best friends.
They're best friends. They have a system. Like, they're always cracking up and laughing and goofing around. And I'm like, what are they, like, what is even happening? But it's totally possible.
There you go.
And I love that. Isn't that beautiful?
That's the greatest example to close this podcast episode.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. So, yeah, you can make friends even if you don't speak the same language. Charades, all that good stuff.
I love it. So, once again, if you're interested of being sponsor of Pura Vida Perspectives, what do they do?
Yeah, I mean, it would. If you want to advertise your business, let us know. You can reach out to us via Instagram, and we'll get back to you on there.
La Sara Elena, soy Jairo Cárdenas, or Pura Vida Perspective. If you want to advertise with us, we'll mention your business.
All right. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. We appreciate you tuning in each and every week and, learning with us.
All right. Pura Vida.
Esto fue una producción de La Resortera.